Welcome to Just Say It, the English podcast for beginners and everyday learners. In today's episode, we're going shopping in English. You'll learn simple phrases to ask for prices, try on clothes, and speak politely in any store. So grab a cart and let's get started. Now, for those of you who regularly join us on the deep dive, you might be thinking, shopping phrases, isn't that like a bit basic?
Yep.
And that's exactly why we're tackling it today, because even these, common interactions, they hold surprising layers of language, psychology, even cultural nuance. Getting these right can really transform your experience from just, buying something to feeling genuinely confident and strategic. Our mission today is to cut through the noise. We've looked at a bunch of sources, linguistic stuff, consumer behavior studies, to give you that shortcut, not just to speaking, but to really understanding the unwritten rules of shopping in English.
That's a really crucial distinction you're making. Shopping is, yeah, universal. Everyone does it. But the language around it, it's definitely not simple once you start kind of peeling back the layers. Whether you're in a huge grocery store thinking about a big purchase, or maybe just grabbing a coffee, having the right English phrases, it makes a huge difference. So our deep dive today, it's about helping you sound natural, sound clear, but maybe more importantly, it's about getting those subtle meanings. Like our sources point out, if you accidentally say something is cheaply made, when you just mean it's inexpensive or a bargain, that can totally shift the conversation's dynamic. These little word choices, they actually carry a lot of weight in how you're understood.
Okay, let's unpack that. So picture this. You've just walked into a store, maybe you're traveling, new city. Our sources say those first few seconds are really critical for setting the tone. So what's the very first thing you're probably going to hear from a staff member? And how should you respond to, keep things smooth?
Yeah, it's fascinating. Those initial greetings in shops, they seem simple, right? But they're incredibly important. Our research shows they immediately make you feel acknowledged, comfortable. It often influences how helpful you think the staff are later on. You'll commonly hear things like, hello, how can I help you today? Or maybe,
Yeah.
good morning, let me know if you need anything. Another really common one, is there anything you're looking for today?
Mm-hmm.
And if it's busy, they might say something quicker, but still polite, like, hi, I'll be with you in just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of manages your expectations without just ignoring you.
Right. So if someone asks if they can help, how do you answer clearly? Especially if you are just looking around, you don't want them hovering.
Exactly. And this is where understanding your own intention really matters. The sources show that clear communication here prevents that unnecessary hovering. If you're just looking casually, no specific item in mind, the best responses are usually, I'm just browsing, or I'm just looking. Simple as that. Those signal you're just exploring. But if you are after something specific, you use a different structure. You'd say, I'm looking for I'm looking for a phone charger. That little word for is key. It signals a specific search. And if it's plural, like shoes, you just say, I'm looking for shoes. No A. That difference immediately tells the staff what you need or, what you don't need right then.
That's a great tip about using for, but what if you know what you want, but you just can't find it? It feels like hide and seek sometimes in big stores.
Oh, definitely. So then you need phrases to ask where things are. Where can I find this? That's direct, polite. A slightly more formal way could be, could you tell me where the maya is? If you're not even sure they sell it, you can ask, do you have any? Or do you sell?
Mm-hmm.
And it's also good to understand their polite no. If they don't have it, they might say, sorry, we don't sell them, or maybe, sorry, we don't have any left. It's not really a personal apology. It's just about the store's stock.
Okay, so you've got past the greeting, maybe found the right aisle. Now you see something interesting. How do you ask for more details? What kind of phrases do our sources say are good for understanding, what the thing actually is?
Right, this is where having a bit of descriptive vocabulary helps a lot, both for you and for the staff trying to help. Our deep dive into product descriptions showed some key categories. For size, you'll hear it's a small, medium, large size, or we also have this in XL. Pretty standard. For color, it might be this comes in red, blue, and black, or maybe it's available in light or dark shades. Talking about material, you'll hear things like it's made of cotton or leather or wood, or maybe the fabric is soft and breathable. For features, they might point out it has 2 side pockets, or for electronics, this phone has 128 GB storage, stuff like that. And sometimes purpose. It's perfect for daily use or great for gifting. These specific words help narrow things down, make sure you're talking about the same thing.
Makes sense. And for clothes, of course, the big one. Can I try this on? It sounds simple, but you mentioned there's a subtle point here.
Yes, there absolutely is. For clothes, for apparel, the right phrase is, can I try this on? That little word on is crucial. If you just say, can I try this? Well, they might think you want to test a gadget or taste some food.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And if you want to be extra polite, maybe with shoes or several items, you could say, may I try these shoes on, please?
Yeah.
You'll also need to know, where is the fitting room? Or sometimes people say, where are the changing rooms? Same thing. And the staff might ask you back, how does the shirt fit? Or maybe, do you want to try it on just to get your feedback?
But, okay, you've tried it on and it's not quite right. Maybe the size is off or it just doesn't look as good on you as you thought it would. What then?
That happens all the time, right? And being clear here saves everyone time. Our sources really emphasize that. If it's the size, you just say, it's too small or it's too big, or more generally, it doesn't fit. Then to find alternatives, you ask, do you have this in a smaller size? Or a larger size? Or maybe more broadly, do you have this in another size? Or another color? Using another is important here. Other might suggest a completely different kind of item.
Right, like a different style altogether.
Exactly. And if you know what you want, be specific. Do you have this in medium or do you have this in blue? Precision really helps them help you.
Okay, now here's where I think it gets really interesting, something that can definitely boost your English skills. Our deep dive found this common confusion point. The difference between fit, suit, match, and go. Oh, help. People often mix these up, but they mean distinct things. Using them right shows, like a much better grasp of the language.
Oh, this is a fantastic point. It really shows how precise English can be when you look closely. So to fit, this only talks about size. If you say, this shirt fits me well, you mean the dimensions are correct for your body. Not too big, not too small, purely physical. Then there's to suit. This means something looks good on a person or maybe in a place, like that color really suits you, means it looks nice on you, complements your features or skin tone. Or you could say, that painting really suits this room. It means it looks good aesthetically in that specific space.
So something could fit you size-wise, but not suit you.
Exactly. It could be the perfect size, but maybe the color washes you out, or the style just isn't flattering on you, doesn't suit you.
Yeah.
Then we have to match. This means two things are exactly the same. Usually we mean color or pattern. If your shirt and tie match, they are probably the identical shade or pattern. And finally, to go with. This means things look good together, even if they're not identical. It's about coordination, harmony. You might say, those shoes don't really go with that dress if the styles or colors clash.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, the key takeaway from the sources is items fit based on size, items suit people or places based on appearance, things match if they're identical, and things go together if they coordinate well. It's quite a nuanced little system, but getting it right sounds really sophisticated.
That clarifies it perfectly. It really underlines that idea about unspoken signals in language. So flipping it back to the sales assistant, if the customer tries something on but is still, undecided, how do you politely suggest other options without being too pushy? What's the art there?
Yeah, politeness is absolutely crucial here, as our sources kept highlighting. You don't want to pressure anyone. So instead of strong suggestions, you use softer phrases. Maybe, you might like this one, just gently offering an alternative. Or using a bit of social proof, like many customers choose this because it's mentioning a popular feature or benefit. To help them decide between two, you could ask, would you prefer this one or that one? Or if they mention needing something specific like comfort, you could say, if you want something lighter, maybe this one is good. It's all about subtle guidance based on what you think they might need or like.
Right. So let's say you found the perfect item. It fits, it suits you, it even goes with your favorite jeans. Fantastic. Now, the moment of truth, the price. What are the standard ways to ask? And is there anything about politeness here too?
Well, how you ask about the price can subtly influence things, according to our research. But the most direct, totally normal ways are, how much does it cost? Or, what's the price? For one item, simply, how much is this? For several items, how much are these? Easy enough. If you suspect there might be a discount, asking, is this on sale? Or, are these shoes on sale? Is completely fine. Or more generally, you can inquire, do you have any sales or promotions right now? Or, is there a special offer on it? Using polite intonation always helps, of course. And maybe phrasing like, could you tell me how much this is, can sometimes feel a bit softer.
Okay, beyond just asking the price number, how do we talk about whether it's a good deal or maybe too expensive? This is where those connotations you mentioned earlier must really kick in, right? Affecting perceived value.
Precisely. The phrase you choose can totally change how the purchase feels, psychologically. Our sources show that phrases for a good deal like, that's a steal, or it's a bargain. They don't just state a low price, they actively frame it. We saw one study on consumer perception. It showed using steal can actually trigger a sense of like immediate gain, maybe urgency, like you're being clever.
Wow.
Yeah, it's leveraging that value perception. Other positive ways. It's a great deal, or you won't break the bank. If something's really, really inexpensive, you might hear the informal, it was dirt cheap. Though, funnily enough, that one can sometimes make people wonder about the quality.
Huh. That's fascinating, the psychology behind just a few words. And what about the other end, saying something's too expensive?
Right. For things that seem expensive, common phrases are, that's steep, or it's a bit pricey. That's quite common. A bit pricey. You might also hear, it's a high price to pay, or dramatically, it costs a fortune.
Mm.
And those idioms for really expensive things, it costs an arm and a leg. Everyone knows that one. An informal way to say you personally can't afford it is, it's too rich for my blood.
Mm.
And just to reiterate that important distinction, cheaply made implies poor quality, definitely negative, whereas a bargain is always positive, good value for the money. It's a tricky line to walk sometimes.
Okay, so you've weighed it up, the price is right, you're ready to commit, you head to the checkout. What are the usual ways to pay these days, and what will the cashier typically say to guide you?
Right, at the checkout counter or the till. The cashier will usually start with something like, are you ready to check out? Or the very common idiom, let me just ring you up. Ain't antic. Ring you up just means scan your items and calculate the total. They'll state the total clearly. Your total will be whatever the amount is. Then for payment, you can ask, can I pay with a card? That covers credit or debit. Or you can state your preference. I'd like to pay with cash. Yeah. Oh, and don't forget, if you have one, I have a plank card or a membership card. People often appreciate those loyalty schemes. You might also hear about stores being cashless now, meaning they don't take physical money at all.
Yeah, seeing more of those.
Definitely. After payment, they'll often ask, would you like a receipt? Notice the polite, would you? And they might give instructions like, please insert your card here, or nowadays, just tap your card.
Okay, but sometimes, even with all that careful choosing, you get home and it's not right. You need to return it or exchange it. What are the essential phrases for that, and what questions should you expect?
Yeah, returns happen. This is where you need to be politely assertive. To return something, just say, I'd like to return this. If it's a wrong size and you want a different one, say, I'd like to change this for a different size or exchange this for a different size. The staff will almost always ask, do you have the receipt? That's usually crucial.
A magic receipt.
The magic receipt, exactly. They might also ask, when did you buy this item? Because of return time limits. Then they'll explain your options usually. We can offer you a refund, that's your money back. Or an exchange. Swap it for something else. Now, if they can't accept the return, maybe it's past the date or no receipt, they'll decline politely. You might hear, I'm sorry, but the return period has expired. Or, unfortunately, we don't accept returns without a receipt.
Got it. Okay, let's talk about everyone's favorite words. Discount and sale. Our deep dive showed that shops use specific language to make these deals sound exciting, create regency. How do they typically announce and explain these offers?
Yes. Everyone loves a good deal. Staff announce promotions pretty directly, like, this product is 20% off today. Simple. Or, we have a special offer this week. The really popular one, you see it everywhere, is buy one, get one free, often called BOGO. They might need to specify conditions, though. The discount applies only to selected items, so you know it's not everything. And they'll often add encouragement like, it's a great deal, or try to create urgency with, this is a limited time offer. These phrases aren't just informative, they're definitely designed to nudge you towards buying.
Makes sense. And finally, that last impression, the goodbye. You mentioned our sources say this is actually really important for making customers want to come back.
Absolutely, that final interaction is crucial for building loyalty. A warm goodbye makes a difference. Staff will often say, thank you for shopping with us. It's simple, acknowledges the purchase, shows gratitude. They'll usually follow up with something positive like, have a great day, or enjoy your new purchase. That last one's good because it connects the item with, future enjoyment. And they might add an invitation to come back, like, we look forward to seeing you again. It's that mix. Thanks, good wishes, and a gentle prompt to return. It makes you feel valued, and it extends the positive feeling beyond just the transaction.
Wow. We've really taken a proper deep dive into the language of shopping today. We've gone way beyond just basic phrases, sort of uncover these layers of psychology, meaning even cultural stuff hidden in everyday chat. It's really clear it's not just about knowing the words. It's about understanding the flow, the subtle messages that help you sound not just natural, but like really clued in.
Exactly. Mastering these phrases and, I think crucially, understanding the why behind them, why this word and not that one, it helps you communicate so much more clearly. You can handle questions better, feel more confident walking into any store. It really encourages you to think critically about language, how words work, how they influence things. So we really encourage you, listen for these phrases when you're out. Practice them. Notice the context.
So thinking about all this, what does it mean for you, our listener? Here's a thought to take away. Next time you're out shopping, maybe just browsing, maybe ready to buy, what's one new English phrase you'll intentionally listen for? Or maybe even try using yourself. Think about making your experience just that little bit smoother, a bit more authentic. Consider the subtle power in your words. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep exploring, keep practicing those phrases, and we'll catch you on the next one.